Hello, friends. I'm Rick Beatty. I'm the senior minister at Unity of Royal Oak in Royal Oak, Michigan. And it's an honor to always, for me, it's an honor to join with you energetically in our midweek meditation. And I want to start, as I normally do, by reading today's daily word for Wednesday, May the 12th, 2021. And I read this with permission of Unity, the publishers of Daily Word. The key word is protect. And the affirmation is, I am loved and protected as I rest in God. Let's take that together, meaning repeat with me. I am loved and protected as I rest in God. If I am surprised by a sudden storm, I seek protection from the elements. Shielding myself from the wind and rain, I take cover until the storm passes. Whenever the storms of life begin to swirl, I find my protection in my awareness of God. I begin by turning my focus inward and quieting my mind. I may place my hand gently over my heart, breathing in the radiant energy of divine love and life as I recall the words of James Tillett Freeman's prayer for protection. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. No matter how fierce or unrelenting the storms of life, I find my protection in God, my source of strength and security. I rest soundly, abiding in this truth. Wherever I am, God is. And the Bible verse for today is from Psalm 46, verse 1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. And today, this is so, as it so often is, so appropriate for me today. Many of you know who are part of the community that I serve that yesterday, the dog that I've had for many years now, 8 years, and who's been in my family for longer, I had to let him go yesterday. His health had been failing, and at some point, it gets to a place where we have to release. If we love someone, we don't want to keep them in the pain. So it was a journey for sure. And so today I'm immersing myself in my awareness of God. That's why I'm doing the meditation from my home. Being gentle with me. The storms swirling are just storms in my own emotions today, but if I'm surprised by a sudden storm, it says I seek protection from the elements. In other words, we have the wherewithal to take care of ourselves. We can get out from the middle of the storm or do something to shield ourselves. And I have been blown away by the support and love and friendship of so many people. And it's amazing to me. And it's powerful for me as a demonstration of what authentic community is about, which is what my whole life has been about since I was about 21 and first felt called to ministry, about the creation, the calling into authentic community. What does that look like? Could we build a container strong enough to contain us all, to allow for the amazing diversity, to be inclusive and diverse, both? Can we do that? And over and over and over again, the universe, God, life, has given me opportunities to remember that and to realize that life calling is indeed been my experience increasingly. No matter how fierce or unrelenting the storms of life, I find my protection in God, my source of strength and security. Friends, I don't think that there is any other source of strength or security for any of us. I have experienced losses of so many kinds: business failure, losses, the deaths of my parents, all of my grandparents, 2 brothers, relationships ending, all of it, just like you have. We've all had stuff we've had to work on, deal with, adapt to, come to terms with, make peace with. And as I have said many times, and I'm going to say it again, or ask the question, have you ever had something you didn't get through? Ever had something going on you didn't get through? And understanding you may be going through it now. You may be going through it now. What I know is that we get through stuff. We are resilient. That's resiliency. I believe that resiliency comes from my spiritual strength, the indwelling Christ presence. In Unity we talk about the 12 powers, or think of the 12 aspects of the Christ consciousness within us. I have great faith. You can see it above me up on my bookcase back there. It says faith, breathe, hope. Faith and hope, right? There's the beginning, faith. And then I have strength. I am strong. I'm a spiritual being, and I have within me tremendous strength. And I have faith, and I have resiliency. I have the power to imagine. I have the power to make wise and good choices. I have the power to release things that no longer serve me and to embrace something brand new. I have the power of life itself and the power of the word I speak that never comes back to me empty. So I share this with you because I don't know what you're going through, but I know you're not alone. I know that you're never alone, that you have within you everything you need. Now, sometimes we have to peel the can open and find it, excavate it, get at it. And I'm not going to suggest to you that the journey is easy. It's not. It is not an easy journey to living as a wide awake and aware as you can. And what I know is that if you have begun the process of awakening, you can't stop it. You can pause it for a minute, maybe, but you can't stop it. So one of the reasons why I share these short meditations is to remind people that all of us, and certainly me, can stand and hit the pause button once in a while on life, because it gets going fast and furious all around us, and we don't have to let it control us. Just because I've got a lot to do doesn't mean that I let myself get frantic or afraid or burnt out or burnt up. Those aren't good things. Nothing good comes of it. So part of that basic practice for me in my life is meditation, to become still. I have lots of music I listen to. In a minute I'm going to turn on Greg Barrette's piece, The Heart of Oneness. With his permission, I use that sometimes for meditation so that we don't get into a copyright issue, streaming things. Meditation is hitting the reset button. It's hitting the pause. It's taking a break. It's turning away from the outer and its stuff, its noise and marketing and politics and, to watch the news anymore is to watch a marketing program almost. It bothers me, and yet then I'm watching it, so I shut it off. So meditation is one of those good reasons to just shut it all off for even a hot few minutes. And that's what we're going to do now. So I invite you to get relaxed, get centered in your chair or wherever you are. Maybe you're lying down. Perhaps you're standing up at this time. I hope you're not driving if you're listening to this. And if you are, keep your eyes open and your hands on the steering wheel. But allow yourself to begin to relax. Notice your body. Many of us are busy all the time, and we forget. Just ask your body what it needs. Where is tension showing up in your body? Is there any stress anywhere? Stress in the body helps me to know where to focus my attention. If I'm carrying stress, then I want to find out what's the cause of it and let it go. And I find that just scanning my body, roughly starting from the bottoms of my feet right on up, I imagine just like a scan of like an x-ray machine or some kind of a scanner. I don't even know what it would be called. That just comes up slowly, but never stops. And whenever I encounter any stress or tension in the muscles or skeletal structure, I just invite it to drain away. And I see it. I see it happening. I use the power of my imagination to see it happening. So wherever you are right now in this moment, just allow whatever stress or tension might be present there for you to drain away, so that you can get the chance to connect with Spirit. In Him we live and move and have our being, the scripture says, and that's true. However, we have to pay attention. We have to notice. I think that so much of this spiritual life, this journey, this way of living is about noticing. How can I notice where God is at work in my life today? Even yesterday, in the midst of the veterinarian's office and saying goodbye to my beloved dog, who the first dog that I ever owned as an adult. I didn't own the dog, he owned me. He had been my brother's dog, and he chose me when my brother died. And so Pork Chop came to be with me. Notice that even in the midst of the big storm, we can get still, we can be quiet. We can collect our thoughts, we can turn within to the truth. And here's the truth. Life is eternal. You and I are eternal beings. Because we're spiritual beings having a physical experience, not the other way around. And that was true for my pet too. As I prayed over him before I let him go, I thanked Source, I thanked God for the way that the life of God showed up in the dog. It's the same life that shows up in you and me. It shows up in everyone and everything. That's why you hear me talk about oneness so frequently, and so much of what we're about in unity is that idea of oneness, about that we share a life, and we share the wisdom of life, and we share this. We are expressions of that which we call God, not just caricatures of it, but God in form, God showing up in form. That's for you and for me. So, like I said, I'm going to start we're going to work with the breath, because that's where meditation, I think, really arises. That notice the meter, the measure of the breath in and out. Nothing you can do to breathe. Nothing you can do to keep yourself from breathing. Neither one. And I'm going to put some music on for us as we spend a little time together in quiet. And I've been craving quiet this week. It seems incredibly important. So allow yourself, we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Breathing in from the bottom of your lungs filling them from the bottom to the top. So breathe deep. Hold it. Sigh it out. Notice how that feels when you intentionally fill your lungs from the bottom to the top. You feel it. Your chest expands, shirt moves, rib cage moves to allow for the expanded capacity of your lungs. And when we take that deep breath, we stimulate I think it's called the vagus nerve that runs through our lungs, that helps us relax. And who isn't wanting a little bit of relaxation right now? In a way that doesn't cost any money and it's drug-free. It's not artificial. Take a second deep breath in with me. Hold it. Sigh it out. One more deep breath in. Hold it. Sigh it out. Now allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm. For each of our bodies has a rhythm all to itself. It's its own journey. Restless like waves lapping at the ocean, lapping at the beach from the ocean. restless, tied in and out, always moving. And right now in this moment, we turn our attention to that within us that is eternal, that never changes. We allow this time together to be a time of remembering who we are and what we're about. And allow yourself to follow your next breath inward to that place in you where the center of you is, wherever you consider the center. For some it's related to the heart chakra, to the heart space. It matters not, wherever you think of it as your center, just to let yourself move there. Should you hear any noise, anything come up and startle you, let it just be a reminder for you to turn within by bringing your attention back to the breath. Notice your breath and then follow your breath inward. And be with me now in this time. In Gregory Barrette's music, The Heart of Oneness. Because indeed that's the truth for you and for me. Again, if you hear any noise, it's just a reminder to turn within. Again, if there's any noise, anything that interrupts you, let it just be a simple reminder to bring your attention back to your breath and follow the next breath inward. And I invite you to, in your mind, feel the presence of other people connecting in this time, in this way. For we truly are all reflections of a single life, a single light. We call this life God. Not merely reflections of it, but expressions of it. You and I are God pouring itself, life pouring itself into form. It's relentless, and the journey continues always and eternally. Forms change, the truth does not change. Notice. breathing in love and breathing out peace. And at this time, I invite you to call to mind any circumstance or situation in your own life or the life of someone that you care about. Perhaps it's something occurring on our planet. Some place that could use some love energy, some hope. Maybe someone you know is being treated for a condition, an illness, some form of disease. Perhaps someone you know has lost someone or lost a pet. Just call them to mind. Trust to know that there's another way to look at that experience. There's a bigger picture. There's something bigger happening. Because life is eternal. But bay that experience, that person in love. Imagine that you can beam it out from your heart. Just beam it right to them. And I'm thinking about the dear ones in India, and sometimes we, in a well-meaning way, we go, oh, isn't it terrible? Well, it is. It's terrible because a lot of people are dying, but let's not jump into the problem, into the fire of it. Let's use the power of our imaginations and our faith to see it happening differently. The supplies they need arriving, the vaccines, if that's what people choose, being effective and working well, the healthcare workers being rejuvenated and revitalized. And now imagine for yourself a blanket of love that you can just wrap around yourself, that you can put on. And I invite you to put that love garment on for yourself. Because if you don't love you, who else can? Who else can? And now let us know together that everything is working together for good. Everything. Everything. Sometimes we can't see it because we don't have the ability. We don't have the perspective. But all things are working together for good. Now take another deep breath. But this time, as we take a deep breath and we exhale, find yourself coming up higher, closer back to this place this time. Another deep breath. Exhale it and come now fully aware, awake, mindful of your environment. You know, we can go into meditation and I can drop in just a couple of seconds. And the reason that we practice something, and practice makes progress, is so that when we want it, it's there. If you're wanting to live a peaceful life, you learn to cultivate peace. One of the ways I know to do that is meditation. We cultivate it, we experience it, we call ourselves back to it. Last Sunday on Mother's Day, I spoke about what is it that we're wanting to give birth to now, individually and collectively. How about a more peaceful world, less noise, more genuine and authentic relationships, deep relationships with people? At least that's my interest. I know that you have your own. I would love to encourage you to connect with you. Email me at rick@unityofroyaloak.org. Or visit our website at unityofroyaloak.org. You'll find out if you can if you're local to us, you can make a reservation request to attend a Sunday service. We are currently using capacity controls to stay within the CDC guidelines. You can see whatever else we have going on, a number of things all the time, more all the time. Saturdays in the park at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It's a lot of fun. Last Saturday was a dance party. And you can also make a contribution. Your contributions in support of this ministry are essential. We only exist on your freely given donations. Unlike any other business, we don't sell a product. We offer ideas and strategies and tools, practices that you can use to create the life that you want to have. And that's really what our movement is about, the Unity movement. It's about learning to utilize those tools and live the principles. And it sounds easy, but it's not, right? It sounds easy, but it's not. So your contributions, you can click on donate, make a contribution. If you prefer to send a check or a money order, the address is also on our website at unityofroyaloak.org in the lower right corner, 2500 Crooks Road, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. I appreciate you, and I appreciate every single person that contributes their energy, their love, their talent, and their treasure. And how much is not my business. It's none of my business. That's between you and Spirit. So, let us know together that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. It really is. Make it an amazing day for yourself. Namaste.